There is a silence that frightens most men. It's not the silence of an empty room. It's the silence of a path untraveled. It's the silence of a decision made without consensus. It's the silence you must embrace when you choose to build something of meaning entirely your own. We are taught to seek the tribe, to find our pack, to validate our every move through the applause, the likes, the approving nods of others. We outsource our confidence. We rent our self-worth from the opinions of the crowd. But what happens when the crowd is wrong? What happens when their path leads to mediocrity, to comfort, to a quiet desperation? What happens when you have a dream that burns so brightly it frightens the sleepy-eyed? You are left with a choice, the hardest choice you will ever make: to stay with the herd and slowly extinguish that fire, or to back on the noise and walk into the silence, to walk alone, to rise alone, and ultimately to win alone. This is not a path of loneliness. This is the path of the Stoic Warrior. And today we are going to map out the entire journey. The first step is always the most disorienting. Walking alone isn't a physical state, it's a psychological one. It's the conscious uncoupling of your internal compass from the magnetic pull of the crowd. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They called it the discipline of desire and aversion. You must desire, above all else, your own integrity, your own purpose, your own virtue. And you must be averse to, you must learn to reject the siren song of external validation. Let me tell you a story about Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world. He sat upon the throne of the Roman Empire, a position surrounded by sycophants, flatterers, and courtiers who lived to tell him what he wanted to hear. He had an entire empire as his tribe, and yet, in his private writings, in his meditations, a book never meant for publication, we see a man fiercely, fundamentally alone. He writes to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He wasn't talking about strength from his legions. He was talking strength found in the quiet of his own mind, in the dead of night, when the weight of the world was on his shoulders, and there was no one, truly no one, who could share that burden. He was walking alone. This is the first pillar of the Stoic Warrior, the unshakable internal locus of control. You must become the sole source of your validation. Your metric for success cannot be your Instagram followers, your boss's pat on the back, or your friend's understanding of your choices. Your metric must be an internal one. Am I living in alignment with my principles? Am I doing the work even when no one is watching? Am I becoming 1% better than the man I was yesterday? This is why walking alone is so terrifying for people, because when you fail, and you will fail, you can't blame your parents, the economy, your bad luck. The responsibility is yours and yours alone. But here's the secret the Stoic Warrior knows. This is also your ultimate liberation. If you are the problem, you are also the solution. So you've made the choice, you've stepped onto the path, and now it gets hard. This is the rise alone phase. This is where you face adversity, failure, and setbacks, and you have to find the will to continue from within. This is where philosophy meets the pavement. This is where you get dirty. The ancient Stoic Musonius Rufus taught that obstacles are not impediments to the path, they are the path. He said, "For just as there is no use in medical study unless it leads to the health of the human body, so there is no use in a philosophical doctrine unless it leads to the virtue of the human soul." Rising alone is the practical application of your philosophy. It's Monday morning at 5 a.m. when the alarm goes off and every cell in your body screams to hit snooze. There is no audience to applaud getting up. There is no coach yelling at you. It's a private contract between you and your purpose. Let's break down 3 Stoic practices for this phase. Practice 1, premeditatio malorum, the the premeditation of evils. Imagine the worst-case scenario. Your business fails, you get rejected, you lose the big client. Play it out in your mind, not to be pessimistic, but to be prepared. By visualizing the disaster beforehand, you rob it of its power. You realize you can endure it. You will still be you. The Stoic Warrior rises because he has already seen the bottom, and he knows it is a foundation, not an abyss. Practice 2, Amor Fati, the love of fate. This is a concept later embraced by Nietzsche, but it's pure Stoic fire. Love everything that happens. See every setback, every failure, every moment of pain as fuel. It's not, why is this happening to me? It's, what is this happening for me? What is this teaching me? How is this forging me into a stronger man? That difficult conversation you have to have, love it. It's training your courage. That project that's pushing you to your limits, love it. It's expanding your capacity. The Stoic Warrior doesn't just endure what happens. He embraces it. He makes it his ally. And the evening review. At the day, in the silence, ask yourself 3 questions, just as Seneca did. What did I do well today? Acknowledge your progress, even if small. Where did I fail to live up to my principles? Be brutally honest without self-flagellation. How will I do better tomorrow? Formulate a simple, actionable plan. This is how you rise, not with grand, dramatic gestures, but with these small, consistent, private acts of self-mastery. And then, one day, you arrive. You achieve the thing you set out to do. You build the business, you win the championship, you write the book, you get the promotion. This is the win alone phase, and it is the most misunderstood part of the journey. Because if you've walked the path of the Stoic Warrior correctly, the victory will feel different. It won't be the explosive, ecstatic, validation-seeking explosion the world expects. It will be quiet. It will be a deep, resonant, internal satisfaction. Why? Because the external victory is just a byproduct. The real victory already happened. It happened in all those thousands of moments you chose to rise alone. The trophy is just a piece of metal. The real prize is the unbreakable character you forged in the process. Epictetus, the slave who became a great teacher, put it perfectly. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. The victory is the ripe fruit, but the Stoic Warrior finds his joy in the entire process, the planting, the watering, the enduring of storms, the waiting. The victory is almost an afterthought.
This is the ultimate freedom. You are no longer addicted to the outcome. You are in love with the craft. You are devoted to the process. When you win in this state, you don't need the crowd to chant your name. Their applause is nice, but it's irrelevant to your sense of self. You know what you sacrificed. You know what you overcame. You have your own witness, your own soul. And this is the final beautiful paradox. When you achieve this level of self-contained strength, you stop repelling people. You start attracting the right people. You don't find a tribe, you build a legion of other self-possessed individuals. But you no longer need them for your identity. You choose them for companionship, for shared mission, for love. And that is a connection far stronger than any needy, dependent tribe. So, let's make this practical. Here is the code, the daily operating system for the Stoic Warrior. Validate internally daily. Your morning ritual? Define your virtue for the day. Today, I will act with courage. Today, I will be disciplined. This is your only metric for success. Welcome obstacles. When a problem arises, smile. Say, Amor Fati. This is not a set. This is the gym for your soul. This is the exact workout you need to grow stronger. Guard your time and attention. The crowd will try to pull you back in, through gossip, through drama, through the news cycle. Be ruthless in protecting your focus. Learn to say no to trivial engagements so you can say yes to your purpose. Conduct your evening review. Every night, have that honest conversation with yourself. No guilt, just assessment and course correction. Define your victory as the process. Fall in love with the grind. Find joy in the solitary work. The outcome is not in your control. Your effort and your integrity are. The path of walking alone, rising alone, and winning alone is not for everyone. It is for the few. It is for the man who looks in the mirror and refuses to settle for a life of quiet compromise. It is a path that demands everything of you, but in return, it gives one thing that matters most: yourself, unvarnished, unbreakable, and truly free. The world will try to convince you that this solitude is a curse. The Stoic Warrior knows it is his greatest weapon. So I leave you with a question, one only you can answer. What great work is the silence calling you to begin? And when will you have the courage to turn and walk into it?